So, I have had this crappy little Chromebook for a few years, and it's served its purpose for a little while, but it's just not really cutting the mustard anymore. And so I've decided to make myself a little project, and well, I got some money. I put it on a couple of cards, and I just made the final purchase for everything else that I need, and everything is now on the way. I'm going to continue this video update as the process goes. Hey, what's up everyone? So, it is September 29th, and the mail just arrived a few minutes ago, and I got a nice little care package from, that's my cat making noise, I got a nice little gift package here from Amazon, and a bunch of my stuff has come in. So I've got my Intel Core i5 and Windows 10 Home Edition on a thumb drive, because that's how they do it now. My network adapter card, power supply, there's my cat. That is a 3 terabyte hard drive, and he is currently standing on top of my video card. So, this is some of the innards, some of the goodies that's going to be going into my project build for my new desktop computer. And yeah, I will be updating later on with the parts as they come in. I'm waiting on, I think at this point, just RAM, and I'm getting a couple of G.Skill 4 gig sticks to make 8 gigs of RAM, and then I'm getting a Fractal Design mini case. So I'm just waiting on those two parts. The case is shipped, the RAM is not yet shipped. But when it gets here, I will continue the update. And yeah, GUR apparently is going to be a major part of this video. Cool. So as I mentioned before, the case that I decided to go with for this build is the Fractal Design Define Mini C. It was getting really good reviews online. I actually had a friend personally tell me that he was looking into it himself for a future build. And I was actually really lucky. I found a returned Define Mini C on Amazon, and I actually got it for a really good price. The case itself is really sturdy. It's very well built. It has a lot of room to be able to work around your internal bits and pieces, and yeah, and it's got the cutout window on the side, so you get a little bit of fancy on top of it. So in the end, I was very happy with this. I think part of the reason why I got a good deal on this case in general is because, one, again, like I said, it was a return to Amazon, having probably to do with this dent here at the top. And secondly, when it arrived to my house, I saw that it was actually missing one of the case fans that was supposed to be installed, and it had none of the accessories, all the little screws and the motherboard standoffs. It was all missing. So I ended up contacting the Amazon seller, and they were really, really nice, and in the end they actually refunded all of my money without making me send the case back. So right off the bat, it's a free computer case, so that's awesome. After that, I got a hold of the people at Fractal Design, and again, very nice, very helpful, and within about a week, I received the fresh box of accessories and a case fan that fit my particular case. The CPU for this computer is the Intel i5 quad-core processor. Nothing too crazy, but still powerful enough to handle things like video editing, which I'm doing right now. At best, I'm a casual gamer. I just kind of fool around and get bored kind of easy with most games, so but I wanted it to be able to do some multitasking, like play Pandora while I'm photo editing, you know, handle video editing, no problem, that sort of thing. And, you know, I'm not really doing anything super fancy like overclocking or, you know, trying to squeeze every last bit out of it. So, yeah, for the money that I spent, I feel the i5 generation is a really good processor. For the motherboard, I went with the ASRock B250M HDV. Since I'm still pretty much a novice when it comes to computer hardware, I really don't have too much to say or too much information I can give you about this particular motherboard, other than to say that it fit in the case and everything worked perfectly first try. So for me, that is enough. I went with the Seasonic Focus power supply. It has a gold rating, and while I'm not exactly 100% sure what that means, it sounds great. I also went with a fully modular design in this power supply over a semi-modular form factor, again, based solely on the fact that it sounded neat. RAM at this point is pretty self-explanatory, I think. I went with two 4GB sticks from G.Skill. Again, it was important that my new machine could handle long-winded tasks like hours and hours of video editing. And generally multitasking, again, like playing music while I'm surfing or image editing, things like that. And yeah, so far, so good. As for storage, I went with the Seagate Barracuda 3TB mechanical hard drive. I do plan to, at some point in the near future, invest in a solid-state hard drive, but for now, I'm just going to have fun trying to fill up 3 GoRAM terabytes. As far as the GPU goes, I went with the Asus GeForce GTX 1060. Again, not the ultimate in graphics processing in 2017, but it probably was in 2016, and that's just fine by me. And yes, of course, my cat Gurr was judging me the entire time I was taking all of these pictures. I went with Windows 10 Home Edition for the operating system, and that's all there is to say about it, really. Yeah, it's Windows 10 Home Edition. Yeah, it's alright. And, well, yeah, that's everything. Well, almost. Turns out the internal wireless adapter card that I bought didn't actually fit into the motherboard. I was pretty bummed out for about 48 hours, but then I picked myself up by my bootstraps, went down to my local Best Buy, and picked up a Netgear USB Wi-Fi adapter, and it works great. Overall, I'm very happy with the experience of being able to go through the parts picking process and the ordering process, and then of course everything gets here and then I get to build it. It was a really great experience. I would recommend it to anybody who is even slightly interested in technology or home computing. If you, like me, kind of want to get into YouTube creation or multimedia work, to be able to say that you built your own rig and you know the ins and outs of it and you can always swap out parts later on down the line, I just think that's a huge benefit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm actually editing this video on the computer that I built, so getting a little inception there, I guess. But yeah, thank you very much for sticking around and watching if you did, and if you didn't, whatever. It's the internet. You can do whatever you want. Alright guys, talk to you later.